What do you mean with dotted bucket names?
Basically, what I mean is a bucket name with a dot character in it.
So why would you have a dot in the name?
Well, if you're trying to host a website on like example.com, then to actually associate that domain name with a Google Cloud Storage website, you need to name the bucket according to the website. So then you would have a dotted bucket name as well.
So is that name verified?
Yeah, that's what the domain name verification is about. So if you want to create a bucket with a dotted name, then you need to verify that you actually have ownership of that domain. And the way you do that is by adding a text field into the domain name system. So then Cloud Storage can query that, and as you as the owner have control over the DNS of that domain, we can then be sure that you are authorized.
But still you can have the dots in the bucket name without it being a domain or domain name.
No, that's because we can't know what kind of top-level domains will come up later on in the world. So whenever you have dots in the name, you will need to be able to verify the domain name of that those dots basically give out.
But can you have dots in the name without it being like, I don't know, three dots only as the domain, not the domain, bucket name?
Good question. I haven't tried that. We should find out.
All right, let's do that. Let's see. Another thing, what does dual and multi-region really mean? It's a bit sounds similar, but they are not, right?
No, they're not. They're absolutely not. So this actually comes in handy when you're thinking about pricing, which is going to be a little later on in the course. But basically, a dual region bucket means that there's going to be another copy of the data in another physical region. And from the access charges point of view, that means that you get free access to the data, or you're not charged transfer fees for access to that data from one of those two buckets. Then again, with multi-region, what Google is saying is that first of all, your data is going to be spread across at least two regions. However, they're not saying which ones. And the good part about this is that now, if you access the data, you're not charged transfer fees no matter where in that multi-region you access the data from, right? So kind of the locality becomes a lot bigger, but it's not saying that there are going to be copies in every region in that multi-region. So I guess what Google does in the back end is they're kind of taking a look at what your access patterns are like, and then they're actually physically moving the data to the place which is cheapest for them and somewhat best for you to access.
Okay, and why would you choose one or the other?
So dual region, you would choose if you actually need to know where the data is physically located, like to the country or region level. Multi-region, you would use if you are running an application from like different regions around Europe, and you want to access the data from all of those regions. So then if you're choosing the multi-region EU for that storage, you're not going to get charged for transfer fees.
And can you freely choose which regions are the pairs?
No.
For the dual?
No. So dual regions are actually quite a new construct in cloud storage. And currently there are one dual region for each continent. So in the US, it's Iowa and North Carolina. In Europe, it's Finland and the Netherlands. And then in Asia, it's Tokyo and Osaka. And those are the only dual regions that are available.
And if you choose dual or multi-region, would you get more availability or reliability out of that?
Yeah, compared to a single region, you would get the SLA is higher, so than compared to a single region. However, in practice, all of the availabilities are 4 nines. So in practice, we haven't seen outages that would have been region-wide. But again, mathematically calculating, then yes, there would be additional availability.
Okay. I think that's it.
Yeah, great. See you later.